Welcome to level 2 of the Highline Ticklist. For the Korean roll, it's really good if you get as much momentum as you possibly can. To get momentum, you can either use the technique I'm using now, like going up and down with the arms and the legs, or if you don't yet feel stable enough, you just like stay in chest position and pump the line like this until you have a lot of momentum. Then you grab one hand in the front, one hand in the back, and in the middle of the way up, you roll. And of course, like you want to do it left and right. So in the middle of the way up, you roll again and you go to the other side. It's important to start rolling in the middle of the way up, because in the highest point of the bounce, you're kind of weightless, and that's the moment where you want to be upside down. In the lowest point of the bounce, you have most weight, so here you want to be again in a stable position. So now the next one is a bit scary, like try to do a leash fall from the sitting position. So here the leash handling comes into play. If you have the leash, for example, in the middle of the legs and you get tangled, there is a slight possibility that you end up with the leash between your legs. So for this, I actually recommend to beginners to wear a cup. And if I have the leash between the legs, I can just like jump off like that. And don't worry, like you don't have to wear the cup for your entire Highline career. I think about 95% of Highliners don't wear a cup. Once you get the reflexes how to get rid of the leash, normally it's not a problem anymore that you end up hitting yourself between the legs. You can also try, when you fall to the right, having the leash on the right side, because then while falling, you actually untangle the leash. Like that. Just make sure for all these leash falls that the leash is never tangled around anything, like around your arm, around your leg, around anything, because like otherwise it gets super dangerous, especially if it's tangled around the finger. So now it gets a bit more technical. You want to have both feet on the line. You can either start with the front foot and add the inner foot, or of course the more normal technique is to start with this one and add the other one and stay in this position for 5 seconds. Then exposure sitting. So here the challenge is going to be to get into this position. So when you're sitting like that, you can like just slide down with the foot and then slowly turn more and more until you feel kind of okay. And once you get used to it, at the beginning it's a bit shaky, but once you get used to it, it's actually a really nice position to just chill here and talk to friends. Now it's time to do a sit mount. And for that, try to have a really round back, get some momentum and go to feet. And even if you fall here, it still kind of counts. It's really important to just commit for that one. Like the more you commit, the more you'll get rid of your fears. The more you fall, the more normal it will become. It's just part of the game to fall hundreds of times. That's how you learn. Now the fake Sofaroll is a pre-exercise for the Sofaroll. The Sofaroll would be like total expo sitting, and the fake Sofaroll is one leg here. And this prevents you from ending up like in a weird position with the shoulders. It's kind of the safe option. And here again, in the middle of the way up, you want to initiate the roll. So I start with the back roll and the same to the front. So that was fake Sofaroll, front and back. Now double chest roll. If the line is super short, it's going to be more difficult. If the line is a bit longer, you actually have a slower and nicer bounce to do it. 65 meters like I have it is just amazing to do double chest rolls and all the further tricks. 70 meter I would say is optimal, 65 is pretty good, 50 is pretty short for that. So again, get a lot of bounce. Go to chest position and double. Here we go. Of course, you can also try the other side too as an extra challenge for yourself. And now a really, really important one to save strength after leash falling. Instead of always climbing the leash in a normal way, it's way easier to directly use the momentum. Like right after falling, you take you grab the leash with one hand, and while it's going up or just before you're at the top, you give a short pull and you try to hang with both hands on the line. Let's see how this looks. So I try to stand up, I fall, and now I go up like that. And I end up in this hanging position. And of course, it's better to keep going with the momentum, not just end up at the hanging position. So the next step would be to fall, end up here and directly take the foot up, and in the next bounce you can do the mental mount. Like this, you use almost no strength anymore after a leash fall. So this was level 2 of the Highline Ticklist. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, leave a comment, tell your friends that it's fun to do it. And of course, don't forget to use the hashtag. Thank you and see you on the next level.